Is it Muller or Muller?
Alain Muller, Mr. Chair.
Sino po siya?
Mr. Chair, hindi po namin siya kilala before this incident. Wala rin po kaming kilalang personal na Muller before this incident. But based on the reports, he was a target, an EJK target. And I think a brother, kapatid po niya na isa pa ay napatay rin po the year before because of an EJK operation.
So, medyo sangkot sila sa drugs, allegedly.
Yun po yung napabalita.
And he was killed in broad daylight.
He was killed in broad daylight based on the video po about 12:06 p.m. Of January 19, about noon time on a Sunday, Mr. Chair.
And you also mentioned in your affidavit that he was a level 1 target with 50,000 reward for his killing.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this was based on the confession of Police Corporal Joseph Andrew Joven that was given several times.
Where did he confess?
Mr. Chair, he did make that confession to the DID, NBI DID, when he was taking in after he surrendered. And he also did at least 2 video confessions to our family, Mr. Chair, on 2 separate occasions.
He confessed to your family?
Yes, Mr. Chair, on at least on 2 separate occasions.
And you have videos of his confession?
We have videos at least more than an hour and a half on both instances, Mr. Chair.
And those video confessions were the basis of this affidavit that you executed?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Were you able to talk with the family of Mr. Muller?
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, after the incident po, ang father ko po also represented the wife of Alain Muller in a case that was filed against po the suspect.
So your father helped them file the case against the suspects?
Opo, Mr. Chair. And the brother po, kanina lang po, ka-message ko rin po yung brother na isa ng isa pong victim na si Alain Muller. Yung brother po niya si Kurt Muller.
What happened to the case?
That case, Mr. Chair, was dismissed by the DOJ on preliminary investigation.
So even during the preliminary investigation, it was already dismissed, so there's no case at all right now?
At the moment, Mr. Chair, I think that is what the status is.
Was there any follow-up investigations on the murder of Mr. Muller?
None that we are aware of, Mr. Chair.
How about, were there cases filed regarding the murder of your brother?
Yes, Mr. Chair, as was mentioned by the NBI, there is one case po that was filed with the DOJ and then was brought to the RTC and 2 arrest warrants po were issued on that. So that is active po.
So the case is still active?
Yes po. And then the family po, after, that was before Joven surrendered po. And when Joven surrendered po and after po the video confession, the family po filed cases relative to that video confession. But these cases were dismissed by the DOJ.
So your family filed additional murder cases against the same people?
Yes, different. The NBI case, Mr. Chair, had Joven as charged. Also a certain Jerry Villanueva, also a police officer, and 2 John Does, Mr. Chair. The family case, using the basis of the Joven confession, had Joven and 4 other personalities, Mr. Chair.
Who are these 4 other personalities?
Mr. Chair, as mentioned earlier, these were Ricardo Morante, Vernilio Escorial, Michael Dimihilo de Felipe, and Freddy Libuon. Identified as gunmen by Joven were Ricardo Morante and Vernilio Escorial. By the way, also, Mr. Chair, we also included the Iloilo City Police Director at the time, Martin Defensor, when we filed the cases because of what was shared by Police Corporal Andrew Joven.
But Did I hear it correctly that this case was dismissed
Yes, Mr. Chair, by the DOJ.
by the DOJ? What was the reason for the dismissal?
Mr. Chair, according to them, insufficient evidence to indict the officers, and then confession is inadmissible as evidence even against Joven himself. That was their basis, at least from their their conclusion of that. Mr. Chair.
Okay. I just have a few more questions because I'm curious about how were you able to say that the adventure was parked near that gate?
Yes, Mr. Chair. We recovered video footages from the first shooting, Mr. Chair, all the way to the surrounding area, and we also had footages after that, Mr. Chair. And if you notice in the video, Mr. Chair, the adventure had tape on the side, reflectors. And we were able to retrieve those reflectors at that gate, Mr. Chair. Because as what was shared by suspect Joven, the reflectors were actually markers for the car, and also to somehow probably make sure that the operation goes unbothered or unhindered. But even before that, we were able to recover the tapes, and all videos in the area actually matched the time sequence, Mr. Chair. So the shooting happened at 12:06. At 12:18, 12:19 po, my brother was on the phone talking to his wife while he was parked po doon sa may area na yon. Tapos po doon po siya linapitan, tapos binaril po. Haba pong nakasakay siya sa motorsiklo po niya, naka-helmet, saka po hawak po niya yung telepono niya.
You mentioned in your affidavit that he was afraid that those suspicious-looking people were casing his house.
Opo, Mr. Chair, kasi at that time po, 2020, yung gate po na yun sarado, wala pa pong masyadong laman yung village. Yung bahay po nila nasa dulo po ng kalsada, sa kabilang dulo. So parang, Mr. Chair, my brother was really observant by nature. So parang may ano po niya, nakita rin po namin, lumabas po siya sa village, kasama po yung motorsiklo, tapos lumampas po siya doon sa may gate, nag-U-turn po siya. So ibig sabihin may binalikan po siya, may nakita po siya. Wala lang pong video doon sa mismong lugar. Pero doon
How did you know that he made a U-turn?
kita po namin sa video, Mr. Chair, at the point that he made the U-turn.
So, I think you said in your affidavit that he was afraid for his family, right? And I would understand if you have a couple of kids and your wife, and then you see may mga suspicious looking na mga tao nandun malapit sa gate sa dulo ng street nyo, syempre, i-check mo talaga yon. So, parang yun ang nangyari sa kapatid mo na he was just looking after his family and then he was killed.
Opo, Mr. Chair, and he was actually on the phone with my sister-in-law.
When he was attacked, when he was shot?
Sinasabi po niya sa sister-in-law ko po na may mga suspicious na tao dito. And that is logged po by the phone records of both my brother and my sister-in-law.
And you're also certain that the same group that killed Muller is the one who killed your brother?
We are certain of that, Mr. Chair. Number one, because of the vehicle, and also because of again the tracing of who rented that vehicle, which was traced to be Police Corporal Joseph Andrew Joven, Mr. Chair.
And did Joven say that hindi nila sinasadya na patayin yung kapatid mo?
Opo, Mr. Chair. Nataranta lang raw po sila kasi tinatanggal po nila yung mga sticker doon po sa gate. Tapos kala po nila, sinundan po sila. Tapos yun na po, nagpanik. Sakay po sila ulit lahat sa sasakyan. Tapos sinarangan na po nila yung kapatid ko, binaba. Binaril, may konting diskusyon raw po. Tapos binaril na lang po.
So they were afraid that they would be identified.
Yes, Mr. Chair. That appears to be the case.
So, Mr. Chair, it would appear that Mr. Del Britannico was just an innocent bystander. He was there trying to protect his family, being careful, being cautious. Tapos, parang nasa wrong place at the wrong time lang talaga. Nakakaawa talaga yung ganun. And I can't imagine my younger brother being killed that way. It's so senseless. And I joined the call of Congressman Ernix Janicio for the NBI to reopen the cases so that justice will be served. And I also agree with what Mr. Britannico said earlier when he said that the end does not justify the means. And we have seen that the current administration of President Bongbong Marcos was able to successfully lower the incidence of drugs and even wage a war on drugs without resorting to bloodshed. So I guess it's possible after all. And that's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
No further questions.
Thank you,
Mr.
Congresswoman
Chair.
Suwan.
Mr. Chair.
Before Congresswoman Luistro, clarification lang kay Mr. Britannico. Did Mr. Joven, the suspect, admitted to you, to the video that they received money?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
As what? Para saan yung perang yun?
Una po, Mr. Chair, una pong pagtanggap ng pera was 100,000 po for a killing of a certain kagawad, Virgilio Coronado Soledad.
Okay, so every time there is somebody killed, merong kapalit na bayad yon. Is that what
Ang
he is
nabanggit
saying?
niya lang po yung pangatlo po nilang pinatay na binigyan po sila ng 100,000.
Okay, sige.
Tapos ang binanggit niya rin po, Mr. Chair, was dun sa kay Mueller, ang reward money po was 50,000.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Mr. Britannico. We also have here Miss Erminia Muking Espino. Where is Miss Espino? Si Ma'am Muking. So, Ma'am, I'm glad that you're able to attend this committee hearing.
Yes,
because-
good evening po, Mr. Chair.
Yes, we sent you invitations during the last two hearings that the Quad